Hello, everyone. It is Friday. It is the beginning of the month in April. I mean, it's not really the beginning, but you know what I mean. It's the beginning, and we're here to do some pretty amazing things because this is our 30 days to speaker success. I am Felicia Jones. Let me make sure I turn on all my titles here. I am Felicia Jones, the lead researcher and founder of iFind and I'm so excited that you're here. Now, this also serves as a Q&A session for all of our members and those who are interested in getting on more stages. So put your questions, your comments into the live chat, and I will be answering them as we go. So yeah, it's just amazing. It's a new quarter. Is I mean, gosh, it's almost spring. It's spring in other places. It's not really spring here in Colorado yet, but it is eventually going to come. Now, today, what we're going to talk about is how to turn an unpaid gig into a paid gig. Now, this is a thing that happens to a lot of speakers, and that is running up against, whether or not to get paid, not paid, all of those things. My personal opinion, I actually like unpaid gigs. Now, you're going to find out why I like unpaid gigs because if you do this right, you can always make money. But also, you have to limit the number of unpaid gigs that you do. So you're not going to go out and do 100. Maybe in your first year, if you're just trying to get your feet wet and people to know you. But eventually, you're going to have to put some boundaries on how you do them and what you're trying to get out of them. So I'm excited to talk about that today. And we're going to go ahead and jump into this if my computer stops trying to pop up things in front of me. So I'm going to be looking down because I got to do this all manually today. Now, here's the deal. When it comes to an unpaid gig and turn it into a paid gig. Now, this is our 30 Days to Speaker Success series. I'm going to give you these 5 things and I want you to work on them. Okay. I want you to work on them so that in the next 30 days, you'll have everything in place. And also check out our other ones. There's going to be probably up here somewhere. Check out the other ones so that you can have like 30 days to work on little bits and pieces of your speaking business so that you can get out there and start making money and start getting on more stages. Now, today, here's the deal. Turning an unpaid gig into a paid gig, you have to be prepared. Like, seriously, you have to be prepared. I learned this the hard way. I don't know if it's the hard way, the easy way, or it's just something I learned. You have to be prepared. And what I mean by being prepared is you got to be prepared to go to the negotiation table. That's what happens when you're dealing with having unpaid gigs. You need to be prepared with what you need, what you want, and what you're willing to ask for. The reason a lot of us are not getting paid to speak is because we don't ask. We don't ask. We're so excited to get on stage and we just don't ask, like, what can we do? And then, when an event comes back and say we don't have a budget, this is not the shutdown to say, get offended, like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. No, this is how you eventually learn how to negotiate and you turn on your thinking hat because you can always make money. You can always make money from a gig, no matter if it's paid, unpaid, and definitely if you have this in place and you're getting paid, you can make even more money. All right, so here's the first thing that you need to do when it comes to turning an unpaid gig into a paid gig. Number one, you need to sell your products. We've talked about this a lot on this channel. We've talked about it a lot with iFind You Close. You got to have some products to sell. If you have a book, great. If you have digital products, great. If you have a course, great. Checklist, I don't care what it is, you need to have something to sell. Now, here's what happens when you have something to sell. Let's just say the event comes back and says, hey, we don't have a budget to pay you. Okay, that's cool. Can I sell my product from the stage? They either say yes or no. Can I get a table in the back of the room so when I mention my product, people can go and purchase it? They'll either say yes or no. Or, can you say, can I pass out the thing so people can go and sign up? Now, here's another cool little thing that you can do. You know what? The QR code has made a massive comeback. It has made a massive comeback. Just put your little QR code on your PowerPoint slide. Tell people they can go and check out your website. Boom. They go straight to your sales page. Now, here's the deal. You got to have some products to sell. If you do not have products to sell, I tell this to every speaker I work with. Do not get on stage if you have nothing to sell. Unless you're trying to do something very different. But knowing how a lot of us are, we're brand new in our business, we're brand new to marketing, you need to have something to sell and you need to have something that's in a price range where people can do an easy yes. So that's why I never have issues with an unpaid gig, because I always have something that's in a price range that's an easy yes, and I can always mention it from the stage without turning into a sales presentation, and people will always buy. So that's the first thing you need to do to turn an unpaid gig into a paid gig. Have something to sell. All right, the second thing is negotiate with a sponsor. Negotiate with the sponsor. Hey, Holly. Holly has joined us here. Truth, if you never ask, you don't have an opportunity for a yes or no. Holly is absolutely right. You have to ask if you want to get paid. People are cheap. People don't want to pay you. I know. We think that people are just going to, make it rain on us. No. I mean, we got to work for it. All right. So here's another thing that you can do. Holly, if you've ever tried this, negotiate a sponsor. Now, again, if an event comes back and says, hey, you know what, we don't have a budget to pay you, all you have to do is say, you know what, I have this really cool book. I have this really cool digital product, and I'm going to be talking about this during my time on stage. Do you think you have a sponsor or somebody in your group or organization that can sponsor purchasing the book or the digital product for everyone? And we can throw it in a swag bag, and it'll look like an amazing gift for everyone in the audience. You never know. You got to be creative. You got to get very creative. And remember, this is all about the negotiation table. You got to be willing to come to the negotiation table just so that you can go through all of these things so that you can eventually say, you know what? This may not be a great fit for me, or maybe in the future we can do this another time. But look for a sponsor. You'll be surprised. Now, outside of major corporations, a lot of organizations, a lot of networking groups, they have people that sponsor different bits and pieces of the meeting. Now, I was a speaker coordinator for about 4.5 years for a group here in Denver, Colorado. I only had one person that ever asked for us to pay them. And we actually were getting it together, and it was going to work. The only reason to stop it was the pandemic, but it actually was going to work because I went back and said, hey, this person wants this. And they were like, okay, cool. You never know unless you ask. Holly is saying sponsor is an awesome idea. Yeah. Always look for a sponsor. All of these events always have sponsors. You never know. Somebody may actually have an extra $100, $300, $500, $1,000 to purchase your book or digital product for everyone. And I've done this a couple of times, and I'll give you some other little tricks that I've done as well just to get paid. Now, number 3, for those of you who are newbies, you're brand new to this whole thing, you're just getting started, you need to get some assets. Assets. That's what I'm saying, assets. This is the great time to get photos, videos, and testimonials. No, you are not getting paid, but you are getting what you need, okay? We need photos for your website. We need testimonials to send out to everyone. We need videos so that we can create a speaker reel. This is your time to ask for all of that. This is where we negotiate, especially for my newbies. So there's never a thing about, I'm speaking for free and I get offended about it. No, the thing is you need to be able to get what you want. And in those beginning gigs, in your beginning year or two, you need to be able to ask for everything that you need. Because what has happened, and I've talked to a lot of people, they've done 40 and 50 gigs throughout the pandemic. They've been a few live events, a lot of virtual events. And my first question is, did you get a testimonial? They say no. Well, did you record yourself? No. Did you get any photos? No. Here's the thing. The reason why we're getting mad because we did unpaid gigs is because we didn't ask for what we needed. We were not prepared. And we went in, we did our thing, and it was just like a mediocre experience. You have to be prepared. You have to know exactly what you want. And for those of you who are brand new, this is the default right here. I got to point this way. This is the default. You're going to get photos, videos, testimonials, and as a bonus, you're going to ask for a referral. That's what you're going to do. You're going to ask the person who booked you, and all you got to simply say is, hey, if you really like what I was doing, can you refer me to so-and-so? I see that you guys are friends on LinkedIn. I see that you're friends on Twitter. Can you give me an introduction? Or do you know somebody from this other organization that would really like to hear this? So that's what you need to do, especially in the beginning. Even if you're not in the beginning, you still need to be negotiating for these things right here. Can I do this? These things right here. You got to keep negotiating for them. All right, number 4, negotiate for travel expenses. It never hurts to ask, you know? Negotiate for travel expenses. If you are like me and you love to travel, all you have to do is start looking at things in a very different way. Let's just say you're already going to London and somebody offered for you to come and speak in London. All right, you know that they don't have a budget. That's cool. But they want you to come and speak. They're not going to pay you. So now it's just like, you know what? I'm going to be there anyway because that's my favorite city and I love to visit that place. So I don't mind coming out of pocket to go. But while I'm there, can you take care of my hotel room? Maybe can you pay for my flight? Well, you know, can you take care of my hotel room, my train expenses, and pay for dinner a couple of nights? You got to start asking for these things and get a little creative. The thing is, you're going to have to invest in being a speaker. I don't want you to go broke, okay? I don't want you to go broke. And the beautiful thing about these unpaid gigs, is training you to negotiate for your pay. It's just training you for everything. And these are all the things that you got to be thinking about. Now, will every event go for it? No. Now, this is where it's up to you. It's putting the ball in your court to make a decision on whether or not this is the right place for you to be. All right, so negotiate for those travel expenses. And let's see, our last one. Let me make sure I'll get rid of my name and stuff so you can actually see what I'm talking about. You need to have an email marketing follow-up system. Email marketing follow-up system. If you do not have an email marketing follow-up system, you are leaving money on the table. Email marketing is going to be your most powerful thing, no matter what it is that you do. I don't care if you are a professional speaker, you're just getting started, or you are just using speaking and marketing. When you have that email marketing system, that's how you're going to keep getting money. Remember, you are in a room full of 20, 30, 50, 100, 500 people. They need a way to opt in. You need to give them a way to opt in. And from personal experience, I did a lot of speaking and my email marketing was kind of crappy at best. And I didn't have a great way to keep following up with people to sell them. And one thing that I did learn from my email marketing system, when I was on top of it, I always made money. Always made money into my courses, into my programs. And this is going to be the thing for you, no matter what. When people opt in, you know, with their QR code on your PowerPoint slide, you have to give them a way to opt in so that you can keep selling to them, okay? Give them a way to opt in. If you have not put this in place, I'm telling you, you are leaving so much money on the table, and in 3 to 5 years, you're going to be upset with yourself. You're going to be so upset with yourself. I mean, I could just be projecting how I was so upset with myself after the first 3 years because I did not have any of this in place, all right? And like I said, it was halfway in place and could definitely be better. All right. So here are the things that we talked about when it comes to the next 30 days, how to turn an unpaid gig into a paid gig. Make sure you have something to sell, okay? Negotiate to have a sponsor. Make sure you have an email marketing system. Negotiate for those travel expenses. And I'm probably missing one right now. Get those photos and videos, all right? Photos, videos, and testimonials. Now, here's a super secret one. It's not really a secret one, but if you have things in place. Now, I used to get invited to come to a lot of sales seminars. I call them sales seminars because these are events where it's sponsored by a coach or consultant, and their thing is to convert people into a one-on-one coaching practice. Now, the thing is, when you have these types of events, everybody know they're about to get sold to. So every speaker is selling something. Every speaker is selling something, but you are in competition with the host of the event because they're going to throw out a $5,000 or $10,000 product or program or something like that. Now, if you ever get invited to one of these, this is a great way to make a lot of money, all right? What you do is you go to the person and say, hey, you know what, my product, I know I can't outsell you. How about you take my product, combine it with yours. That way I don't have to sell anything. I can get up on stage, do my thing. I can talk about your product, my product, and how it's going to combine to make them a better a better person. And when they do sign up for the big package, they will get my product and then you get paid on the back end. I did this a few times. It works perfectly, like perfectly. It's like a no stress sales thing. You just had to negotiate with the person to combine your product with theirs, and they pay you for every time somebody signed up with them. Make quite a bit of money doing that. So you got to get creative when it comes to turning an unpaid gig into a paid gig. You'll be surprised that especially if you're good at sales, you will find that a lot of people have no issue speaking for free because they can walk away with an easy $5,000 or $10,000. Now you got to get good at sales. You got to get good with being able to sell from the stage, and you have to position everything that you're doing in the right way because it will work. Okay. So you're going to have all these different options to get creative. And so for the next 30 days, this is what I want you to work on. Okay. For the next 30 days, look at all of these things and figure out ways that you can implement this into your business and into your speaking career. Now, I'm so excited that you were able to watch. Of course, if you have questions in the future, drop them down in the comment box. I will get the notification and I will be sure to respond to you. For those of you, if you have not signed up for iFind You Close, I want you to go check us out at ifindyouclose.com. We deliver speaking opportunities every Monday along with TEDx events, small business grants, and pitch competitions. So if you need some free money, you might want to come check us out while you're getting these speaking gigs at the same time. Thank you so very much. Of course, I will see you around, and we're going to do this again really, really soon. Make sure you go check out our upcoming events so that you'll see what's going on inside of the world of iFind You Close. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next time.